All right. Welcome to the Ill Noise Business Playbook. We are here with Paulina from the Main Street General Store in Algonquin, downtown Algonquin. Paulina, how you doing today?
Great. How are you, Joe?
I'm doing awesome, doing awesome. Coming off my wife and I just celebrated our anniversary. We just came back from Mexico, so we had a lot of fun. But I know that she was doing something yesterday where she may or may not have seen you. Can you talk a little bit about what was happening in downtown Algonquin yesterday, and I guess the day before as well?
Yeah, we had a wonderful weekend here in Algonquin. Old Town celebrated another annual Art on Effects event that was taking place Saturday and Sunday, with also a show, an entertainment piece that the Algonquin Downtown Association had put on, featuring Tony Ocean. So it was lots of fun, lots of people,
Nice.
lots of friends visiting, meeting new friends. It was a wonderful weekend. My first one, um, since we opened doors March 17th. So kind of learning, taking in all the events that the village of Algonquin hosts here in Old Town.
And it's just so beautiful to do stuff like that, to really get to know the community and for the community to get to know you.
Yes.
My wife and I had the opportunity to come to your ribbon cutting, which was fabulous. We still have the gift certificate that accidentally says an amount that it shouldn't have said. So I've told my
Yes.
wife a million times that if we ever used it, we're just going to use the 10, not the 100,
That
quite
was a
frankly.
blooper.
Yeah, I'll always do. But why don't you tell us what inspired you to start your business? It's a really beautiful store that we've visited a few times. But what inspired you to get going?
So I have always been intrigued by I love the mountains. I love hiking. I love the outdoors. I love the Smoky Mountains. I love Rockies. I love the state of Washington. So that was always an inspiration for maybe a future retirement location. I have always been intrigued by, small pop in town restaurants in those locations, and they're general stores, because a lot of these towns are nestled at the bottom of the mountains. They're small, and these general stores just bring the entire community together. They're vibrant, they're full of everything. So that was always, just always in the back of my head, that if I ever retire, it will definitely will be somewhere at the bottom of a mountain, and hopefully I'll be able to open up a little restaurant or maybe have a little store. Well, life doesn't go always as we plan, and a lot of things have happened in my life in the last 5 years. I had unfortunately lost some family members that were very close to me, immediate family. I had also gone through some personal things. My marriage fell apart. Well, long story short, I also lost my job of 11 years. I had always been in a corporate world. I've never owned a business of my own. And as all of these things happened, and kind of, what felt like my life crumbling into pieces, my mom had enabled me to, with her passing, she had enabled me to make some decisions that I probably wouldn't have been able, or not probably, but most definitely wouldn't have been able to make had she still been here, even though that, would have been preferable. I would have rather had my mom. But on a spur of a moment, this space here in Algonquin had become available. And I love downtown. I love Algonquin in general. I love downtown. The village has put in a lot of time, effort, and resources into revitalizing Old Town. 15 South Main space became up for rent. I had decided to take a leap and make my dream of retirement become a reality a lot sooner than I anticipated. And here we are.
Well, let me first say, as somebody that's also suffered a lot of loss in my life, deepest condolences. It's never easy. I do think that your mother would be really proud of the fact that you're doing something that you love so much. And also, Paulina, as somebody that was in the corporate world for a long time and is no longer there, thank goodness we're both doing things that we're extremely passionate about, and we're answering to ourselves rather than to the corporate machine. So I think that's a good thing as well. What sort of obstacles are you finding with the store, and also with that, as far as gaining your customers? Like, what sort of strategies do you have in place? What sort of challenges are you finding, and then what sort of strategies do you have in place for your customer base as well?
I think just in general, this time period is just a challenging time for anybody opening up a business of their own. I think that our current with the economy and not being able to foresee the future is has everybody kind of holding on tight to their seats and holding on to their money, which is not very, it's not very good for a small business that just opened. Also, in addition to having, necessities and essentials in my store, because I am a general store and I'm trying to uphold that, that as part of, the store's motto, everything you need, and all you fancy. I do have, gifts and books and luxury items that are not, very expensive, but again, could be considered not luxury items. So that is a bit of a challenge right now, is with people, not spending as much as we have seen in the past years. As far as how I am overcoming it, my vision for the store has always been more than just a store. I had opened this space in hopes that this is going to be a community space, not just a store. So building a strong community around the store, being welcoming, being kind of like a third space for everybody. That is, that's ultimately my strategy is, be somebody's, that spot on their walk, as people walk and bike down up and down Main Street all the time. Stop in and just like your old school general store where, you come in for some healthy gossip, cup of drink or a snack, and, maybe a gift. I also provide additional services at no cost to my customers, such as, complimentary gift wrapping of anything that they buy, which may seem like nothing, but to a lot of customers, it's something, especially if they're on a fly in a hurry. So, yeah. So that's pretty much it. I'm very active on social media. I am also doing a lot of involving community in contests. We just had a contest at the store, an art contest. The theme was Over the Rainbow. We had 12 participants, attendees of the Art on a Fox had voted. We had 190 votes in total for we chose three winners that had some prizes at the store. And I'm also hosting community events like guided meditation. So it's just more than just a store.
Yeah. I tell you, if anybody that's in the downtown area on Main Street, and they need to stop in your store. It really, it reminds me of the little general store that was near my grandparents' house growing up, and something that for myself just gives me such wonderful memories and such good feelings. And I certainly got that when I visited your store. So I hope more
Very happy to
people.
hear that.
Yes, everything you can, and such a warm, homely feeling in the store as well, which is a testament to you and how you created it. Now, being in this industry, you're always going to have to be on top of the trends in the industry, right? Like you're
Mhm.
always going to have to see what's happening right now. But if you're really good at what you're doing, you don't want to be reactive. You want to be proactive. So you want to kind of deal with those future trends and anticipate those. So what sort of future trends do you anticipate in your industry, and how do you plan on, dealing with them?
So, just as I mentioned, one of the challenges being the current economy, I there's a trend that has been going around in 2025, where it's no buy, unless it's essentials, unless it's toilet paper, milk, your food. People are challenging themselves not to spend big on luxury items. So, getting ahead of that is providing people with things that, are small, are inexpensive, but create a sentimental value.
Mm,
So kind of staying on top of that. And in addition to this, it's not as much as a trend like what's in right now, for instance, like a labubu, but more, what can you get at the store for your dollar? So me going out there and just hunting for deals and passing on that deal to my clients where everything in this, I try to make everything in the store as affordable as possible. And, everything at the store is if we test it, we like it. Uh, if we don't sell it. And I'm also a bargain shopper. And if I won't buy something that I sell at my store, I won't sell it. So
love it. Love it. You've had your store open for a little while. You're obviously, you've met some folks along the way. Can you give the audience a nice, fun little story of somebody that you're able to work with that puts a big old smile on your face and really kind of confirms that what you're doing right now is your passion. You're doing the right thing.
God, there's so many. I can't, it's really hard to to just like pinpoint one. I've met so many wonderful people over the last 5.5 months, and we're going on a 6 month anniversary is going to be June 17th. Yes, very happy. But so there's a couple that's kind of not necessarily a story, but kids in a neighborhood,
Yeah.
local kids. I just love the kids. They come on their bikes, they park their bikes in front of the store. They come in, they grab the 25-cent bazookas, the 50-cent lollipops. They always
Yes.
tell me stories. I do have some kid favorites. I'm not going to mention names,
No,
but
no, no, no. Don't.
I get advices from those kids on what I should move in the kids section and what's in right now and what products to kind of bring in, which helps tremendously
Yes.
actually if you think about it. I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, so filling that gap between, like the 6 and the 16 is really helpful when those kids come in and just creating those relationships with them. I look at it as a long-term investment for me in terms of marketing because, I hope to be here 20, 30, 40, even 100 years from now. The store is still standing and my family is still running it and my boys are running it and their kids are running it. And to me, that means those kids that are coming into the store today for the 25-cent bazookas and the 50-cent lollipops are going to be coming back with their kids years from now and have that memory, of that, kind of like that sentimental attachment to the store. So the kids, and then the second, it's got to be the dogs and yeah, my puppies. The puppies come in, they drag their dog owners in on their walks. I have a stash of goodies and treats for them. And just seeing the pups every day is also a nice treat.
That's awesome. Again, you do such a great job of welcoming people to your store, and I think that's a key to what you're doing. Paulina, what's the best way that people can reach out to you and learn more about your store?
So they can reach out by just obviously stopping in. That's the best way to reach out. Just pop on in. Uh,
Okay.
but if you can't pop in, right now the store is open 7 days a week, Sunday through Wednesday, 12 to 5, and then Thursday through Saturday, 12 to 8. But if you can't make time or your schedule doesn't align with the store's hours, they can reach us on Facebook. On Instagram, very active on social media. They can follow me on there in the store. I always tag the followers and all the, um, you know, important posts that may pertain to something that they're looking for. I had said that I'm going to be carrying in the store. And then also by calling. So the phone number, is 847-594-1314. But they can always look it up on Google Maps by searching the store.
Awesome. Well, listen, Paulina, thank you so much for your time today. Really wonderful learning more about your story. You have yourself a wonderful day, okay?
Thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate it.
You got it.